what I'm going to do today is basically the same thing as yesterday. I'm just going to see if this only I'm going to do it. I'm going to do several examples. All right. And what I was explaining before we had to go do that the photographs was that these were all straight line equations. And the reason why is because it's just a plain old x. Plain old x. 2 times a plain old x. Plain old x. Plain old x. Right? Quadratics, an example of a quadratic equation, a very basic quadratic equation is this. If it has y is equal to x squared, or y equals 2x squared, or y equals 10x squared, or y equals x squared plus 2x, or x squared plus 2x plus 3, or x squared plus 5x minus 1, anything with an x squared in it pretty much is going to be a parabola. Well, there's some exceptions, but if it's just a y equals, and then you have an x squared plus something, it's going to be a parabola. Yes?
This year, do we get to learn like x cubed, where it's like,
we might. I doubt it. We can. I mean, if you want to, I can certainly show it. Yes.
Do we get to factor quadratic formulas?
Oh yeah. Yes, we're going to be factoring very soon, probably this week. So, and they're really fun. Like I said, this is my favorite part of math, my absolute favorite part of algebra. And I think you guys will like it as you move into it and understand it better. It definitely has more to it than a lot of the other stuff we've done. But if you understand the basics, it will make a huge difference. So, okay, so we're going to talk about quadratics, and we're going to use the quadratic formula. And I'm just going to write down formula. And I know you've done this, but I don't know why my video didn't work yesterday. So the formula itself is x is equal, as you all know by heart now, negative b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. So now when I write it, you know if I'm doing it right or not. See, that's so, yesterday you didn't know that, right? So, all right, so if I have this equation, this is example 1. I have x squared, where am I? Minus 2x minus 8 equals 0. What I'm going to do when I do this is I don't do it in my head. I never do this in my head. And for now, what I want you to do is actually write out a equals, b equals, and c equals. Okay, Nathan? Right? He needs to listen because this is totally new for him. So don't interrupt him. So a is equal to, remember the formula is ax squared plus bx plus c. So this is my a, which is a hidden 1, right? If there's nothing in front of the x squared, there's a 1 there. It's a hidden 1, okay? The b is negative 2, and the c is negative 8. So I'm going to say a is equal to 1, b is equal to negative 2, c is equal to negative 8. And I'm going to substitute these in to this equation. So I'm going to say x is equal to negative b. Negative 2, Clay, is positive 2, right? So 2 plus or minus the square root of b squared. So negative 2 times negative 2. That's always going to be positive. B squared will always be positive. If b is negative, it's still going to be negative times negative, positive, right? So it's going to be, let's say 4, minus 4 times a times c. 4 times a, and I suggest you write it like this, and c is negative 8. Don't do this in your head. This is where everybody makes a mistake. If anybody's going to make a mistake on the quadratic formula, 99% of the time it's this. Because of the minus here and other minuses, minus times that minus makes it a positive, right? So suddenly, all over 2 times a, 1, 2. That's fine. So I've got, simplify it, 2 plus or minus the square root of 4 plus 4 times 8 is 32, plus 32, all over 2. So that is equal to 2 plus or minus the square root of 36 over 2. But 36 is a perfect square. So suddenly I can rewrite it as 2 plus or minus 6 over 2. Now, I can't stop there. As soon as I find a perfect square here, I actually have to give you have to give me two answers. So that means either 2 plus 6 over 2 or 2 minus 6 over 2. So that's going to be, that's 8 over 2, which is 4. So there's my first one. And this is negative 4, right, over 2. That's negative 2. So those are my two answers.
Did you have to like, I left it as like 2 plus 6 over 2.
Can't. That's what I'm saying, is I want you to simplify it and give me an actual final answer. That's okay. No, that's fine. You did great. If you got that far, you did fabulous.
I just didn't know that we.
Yeah, and so that's the reason why is because think about what we just solved for. With a parabola, and Clay, this is important for you to understand. With a parabola, we are, notice because it's a parabola, oftentimes it crosses the x-axis, and oftentimes when it does, there are 2 points where it crosses it. What you're finding with this, x equals this, and you get these 2 points, those are the 2 points where it crosses. So it would cross at negative 2, 1, 2, and 1, 2, 3, 4. Positive 4.
Is that how you graph it?
That would be how you would find 2 points on the graph. The only part I haven't shown you yet is how to find the vertex. The vertex, this is called the vertex right here, where it turns and changes direction, goes back up again.
How do you find that?
We'll cover that soon, but not today, because I'm technically already over. Yeah.
So a parabola always crosses. Oh wait, never mind.
A parabola crosses at the most 2 places, because that's the only way. But it could cross in one place by like doing this and turning right. That's not a very good parabola, but it only touches in one place, right? Actually on the vertex, right? And then there's one. So you can either have it crosses it once or twice, or then you could have 0 times where it never goes that far. So Clay, it could be like this. It could be way up here, never crosses the x-axis, and then if that happened, what would happen when you were solving this is you'd have, like a negative value under the square root sign, which is impossible, right? You can't have the square root of a negative number. Therefore, it's not solvable. It basically means, it's still a parabola, it just means it doesn't cross the x-axis, right? All right, so that's it for now. So homework tonight is just practicing more of the same, okay? Where you're going to find your A, your B, and your C, write them down here, and then plug them in and get your answers, okay? So that's the homework. And then tomorrow we're going to talk in more detail about what quadratics look like, how you maybe graph them, because Gabe asked for that, so I'm going to do that.
Exactly like